I have what's called a severe hearing loss. I am legally blind. I have some vision in my right eye and almost none in my left eye. I'm a customer service rep with Humana Group Medicare. I speak to our members. I go over what their benefits are. I explain to them about their claims. Sometimes they call in and they're not really sure what type of plan they have or what it covers. I go over that with them. A lot of times then I'm put in a position where I'm making them feel comfortable because we deal with a lot of older members and insurance is confusing to them. And sometimes they just need to know, am I okay? Do I have coverage? If I get sick or I go to the hospital, are you going to help me? Are you going to be there? And so my job is not just giving them the benefits and going over things with them. It's being sort of like a lifeline with them.
If every single person I had on my team was anything like Barbara, even a half, it would make my job a lot easier. Barbara's work ethic is amazing. There's hardly any time I really have to ask her to do anything. Normally when I go to talk to her about something, she already kind of can take the words out of my mouth and say, I understand why you're going to talk to me. I'll get it taken care of on my end. So, you know, working with anyone with any form of disability, I think it's, I don't think there's any struggle at all. I think everybody has to adapt in any situation that we have at any time. So I think that, you know, like I said, Barbara's work ethic makes my job easier. So the fact that she has a disability, I wouldn't know unless I had to work with her the way I did as far as the systems that I had to help her get. But other than that, I wouldn't have known. When I became a supervisor, this was my first class that I had. So there was not only a learning curve to begin with this being the first team I had, but then when I spoke with Barbara the Saturday before training class started, and she mentioned the systems that she was going to need at that point, that's when I just got the ball rolling and just started, you know, getting the systems that she would need. She needed the Zoom text to assist her in the training class, and then once we got out onto the floor, we took care of those needs as well.
There was a lot of difficulties in the beginning. They weren't sure how to make Zoom text work with all of the systems that I work with. I work with quite a few, and it just, every time I pull up my systems, they would not interact with Zoom text very well, and it would cause my system to crash.
It was a juggling act, trying to do as much research and testing as I could, trying to not disrupt Barbara from her work. I did a lot of testing behind the scenes, installed Zoom text on my personal computer and did a lot of testing that way. But it was definitely challenging, but it ended up working out and was very rewarding. So I decided to try doing a remote desktop instead of just having her use one system, so that way it would alleviate any conflict between Zoom text and any of our web-based homemade programs. And that worked flawlessly from there. There were a couple things we had to figure out still with audio, with getting the dual screens to work, but it was all things we were able to figure out. And we haven't had any issues since then.
They did have to put my system through a virtual system for me to work with Zoom text. There was some challenges in the beginning. Those challenges have worked out just fine so far. I'm able to use dual monitors, whereas before I couldn't. And I'm just very happy and very satisfied with the ability to use my equipment. Because when I came into Humana, they had goals. This is your job. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to meet. assistive technology allows me to do that.
But that's why I'm here. I'm here to help her get where she needs to be, and where she wants to be, and that's what we're trying to work with now. I know she has the desire to work from home, and I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen. But that was really, like I said, the main thing is just getting the systems in place. She had the drive, she had the knowledge, she did amazing in our training classes. She scored great. So the processes and everything, she knew the processes. It was just her system needed to be up and running to allow her to get those processes done.
Now it is working perfectly fine. I had some great people around me. I had a wonderful tech person. My supervisor stepped in. Everybody did their part to make this system work.
She's been great. She would not hesitate to reach out to me if there was an issue, but she wasn't constantly on me. She'd send me an email, let me know what was going on, and give me time to research and get back to her, which was extremely helpful. But she's been a trooper. She tried to make it work with what she had, didn't complain any more than to let me know that there were issues, and gave me honest feedback. So,
if anything, for me, it's been a huge learning experience. Not only for how to work with other areas, I've learned a lot working with Braden, also with the Office of the Blind. I've learned a lot in what I've had to do. And at the end of the day, if if I have another training class in a couple months and there's someone in a similar situation, then I would know a lot better how to take the next steps. In a sense, I guess you could say we were all kind of guinea pigs and trying to figure out what we needed to do for the future. But I think, like I said, I think it's all been worth it. I would just say, there's no reason not to go for it. I would say that, someone having a disability shouldn't ever be a reason for someone to take a step back and wondering if they should ever hire anybody. Because like I said, with Barbara's work ethic and how she is on a day-to-day basis and how I've gotten to know her over time, I mean, the fact that there's a disability it should always be an afterthought to anything. So I think everybody should understand that everybody deserves a chance no matter who they are. So I don't think anything should ever be a hindrance when it comes to any kind of disability.